7 things you can do yourself to improve your financial plan. Most people think a great financial plan starts by finding the perfect advisor, the perfect stock, or other perfect investment, and it just doesn't. My name is Buddy McNeese. I'm the founder of Frederica Wealth Advisory on St. Simon's Island. In my experience, after more than 3 decades of helping families, the biggest improvements usually come from things that have absolutely nothing to do with picking investments. In fact, there are 7 things almost anyone can do on their own to dramatically improve their financial future. And here's the good news. None of them require predicting the stock market, none require advanced financial knowledge, and none require a finance degree. Let's start with the first one. Number 1, track where your money actually goes. Most people know what they earn. Very few people know how much they spend. Once met a couple who insisted they couldn't save any additional money. They had good jobs, a nice home, a very healthy income, but they genuinely felt that every dollar was accounted for. We pulled up their bank and credit card statements. Within 15 minutes, we found 4 streaming subscriptions, 2 music subscriptions, 3 meal delivery services, multiple online memberships they had forgotten about, and nearly $900 a month eating out. The husband looked at the numbers and said, "Well, that's embarrassing." And it wasn't embarrassing, it's just normal. Most people don't intentionally waste money, they simply lose visibility of where it's going. Think of it this way. If your boat has a dozen tiny leaks in it, you may not notice any single one, but eventually you're wondering why you're taking on water. Your finances work very much the same way. I'm not suggesting you stop buying coffee or never enjoy a nice dinner. I'm suggesting that awareness creates choices. Before you can improve anything, you really have to know where you stand. So try this. For the next 30 days, track every dollar, and not to judge yourself, but just to learn where it's going. Number 2, build an emergency fund. Nobody wakes up on a Tuesday morning and thinks, "Man, today is a great day for my transmission to fail." Unfortunately, life doesn't ask for permission. Years ago, a client called because their HVAC system had died in a Georgia summer, and we know how bad that was. To replace it, the cost was nearly $12,000. Fortunately, he had enough cash reserves. The problem was annoying, but wasn't devastating. Contrast that with another family who had a similar repair and immediately put everything on high-interest credit cards. The repair itself wasn't the real problem. The debt that followed, that became a problem. Emergency funds don't make emergencies disappear. They make them more manageable. Think of your emergency fund as financial shock absorbers. Every car eventually hits potholes. The question is whether the suspension will absorb the impact or will the axle just break. For most families, saving up for 3 to 6 months of essential expenses is a good starting point. Number 3, increase your savings rate. Here's something most people underestimate. The amount you save often matters more than the return that you earn. Let's look at 2 people. Person A invests $5,000 a year and earns 10%. Person B invests $10,000 a year and only earns 8%. Who wins? Almost always person B, because savings creates the fuel that makes investing work. I had a client years ago, he's obsessed with finding the right investment. Every meeting was about beating the market. Eventually I asked a simple question: how much are you saving each year? The answer was surprisingly very little. He was spending hours searching for an extra 1% return while ignoring the fact that increasing his savings by a few $100s per month would have a much larger impact. Most wealth is built through consistency, not through brilliance. Number 4, eliminate high-interest debt. If I offered you a guaranteed 22% return on your money, every investor watching this video would want in. Yet people routinely ignore a guaranteed 22% savings opportunity. It's called paying off a credit card. A few years ago, a client had approximately $18,000 on credit cards at interest rates well above 20%. Meanwhile, he was excited about a new investment opportunity that may or may not earn 8% a year. I asked him, "Why are we trying to get 8% a year when you're paying 22% on your credit cards?" Silence, then laughter, then realization. High interest debt works against you every single day. Debt reduction may not feel exciting, but freedom feels pretty good. Number 5, update your beneficiaries. This may be the most important 10-minute task you do all year. Years ago, I reviewed a client's 401k before he retired. Everything looked fine until we checked the beneficiary designation. His wife for more than 20 years earlier was still listed as beneficiary. He had been remarried for nearly 2 decades. Imagine how that story ends if he had passed away unexpectedly. Thankfully, we found it in time. Take 10 minutes. Review your retirement accounts, your life insurance, your transfer on death accounts, and make sure your paperwork reflects your actual intentions. Number 6, organize your financial life. Let me ask you a difficult question. If something happened to you tomorrow, could your spouse locate everything? I once worked with a widow whose husband had handled every financial detail. He never wrote anything down. After his passing, she spent months trying to identify accounts, insurance policies, passwords, and legal documents. Financial organization isn't for you. It's for the people who may someday need to step in your shoes. Consider a simple master document list that would have bank accounts listed, investment accounts, insurance policies, attorney information, CPA information, important contacts, and where your documents are actually located. One organized notebook can save your family countless hours of stress. Number 7, write down your goals. This is where financial planning actually begins. Not with investments, not with taxes, not with insurance, but goals. I once met a successful business owner who had accumulated millions of dollars. By most measures, he was financially successful, but when I asked him why he was working 60 hours a week, he couldn't answer. Finally, he said, I've just been too busy building the business. I've never really stopped to think about what I was building it for. Money is a tool, not a destination. Ask yourself, what does retirement actually look like? Where do I want to live? How much time do I want to spend with my family? Do I want to help children and grandchildren? What experiences matter the most? And what legacy do I want to leave? Without goals, financial planning is just a math problem. With goals, it's a life plan. So in closing, the truth is most successful financial lives are built through ordinary decisions that are repeated consistently over time. Number 1, know where your money goes. Number 2, build cash reserves. Number 3, save more. Number 4, eliminate expensive debt. Number 5, keep your beneficiaries current. Number 6, get organized. And number 7, define what success looks like. These are not flashy strategies, but after 30 years of helping families build wealth, I've found that the basics done consistently beat the fancy stuff almost every time. And if you'd like help turning those habits into a coordinated plan, we would love to have a conversation. Please like and subscribe and pass to a friend that you think might need this.